Good evening, everyone. It's Monday. It's season 4, episode 13. 13.
Unlucky for some.
Oh, lucky for some, but not for us because it's Monday night and we're here to talk about hobby stuff. Fantastic. Big thank you to everyone that's watching on the catch up as usual. Really appreciate it. And as always, we are proud to be sponsored by Boards and Swords Hobbies in Derby. Check out the website. Use the code PCP5 when you check out for an additional 5% off an already fantastically reduced and discounted range of figures, miniatures, paints, and all the kinds of malarkey from Boards and Swords in Derby.
Which means if we're buying the new Pike and Shot Epic stuff,
it's cheap
for free, really.
It is very.
I've just done that from them.
Have you? Well done. Well done, Martin.
Well done, Martin.
No worries.
If I should point out, the more astute amongst you will know that above me, that's not actually Martin. That's Leon. That's Leon. Leon from Leon T66 Wargaming. Leon, welcome to the podcast, and thanks for stepping in.
No worries.
The sixth Beatles back.
Yeah, it's nice to be back.
Yeah, he's back.
So yes, for those who don't, I think everyone knows Leon, but if not, go and check out his channel. He does some fantastic content, some fantastic projects. Yeah, we're very grateful to have him on the podcast tonight.
It's tonight, good to be here.
Good stuff. Cheers, Leon. Tonight's theme, it's a painting clinic, but with more of an emphasis on the big projects. Now, with Leon and Dom both being here, let's be honest, they've both done some fairly large projects in the past.
Yeah. Don't know what you mean.
I've never finished one though.
What about your landscapes? When they finished?
Well, yes and no. I finished all the ones I've got, but it's not a complete army.
Well,
although I am thinking of selling them now.
Oh no!
Don't do that.
You need to add to them.
I'm sure Ken will be on my side here.
I'll buy them.
There you go.
I think I was certainly expecting that. No, I remember when I started my Landsnets and you commented, and the phrase always sticks with me: "Never again."
Yeah. Exactly.
Because I need to get back to mine. I really do. I painted 3 units, a headquarters and that cannon thing, and then I had to go and lie down in a dark room for 3 months to recover from painting such bright colours.
That's how awful it is.
It didn't really. I mean. Oh yeah,
I noticed that, but now I can't unsee it. Look at those little blue dots.
There's some blue dots.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I can't see him. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Line it up.
Be the other way. That's it. Perfect.
There we go. That's uncanny. Yeah. So what we're going to be talking about tonight is just hints and tips. If you're embarking on, I hope Yorkshire Ken's in the chat because he
does some massive projects.
Yeah, big project. I mean, to him, 400 figures is a skirmish game.
I can say he would sniff at our projects and just say,
yeah, exactly. So,
he'd say that's a nice start to a project.
Yeah, just getting underway.
I'm looking forward to Ken's input because this could be quite interesting. So, yeah, get your tips, your hints, your advice in the chat, and we'll discuss them later on. As well as this, we'll have the usual news. There's no doubt going to be preceded by Ken's scary music. We've got hobby updates. We've got the OCP coming up. My co-host Dom will be showing the OCP results.
I've got my list here, so I hopefully won't get it wrong. So because I was told I got it. Get it absolutely right. Martin said you've got to get it right.
It's preparation central round here. It really is. We've got news, and then we've got some viewers' photographs coming up. Yeah, it is. It's a skirmish. It really is a skirmish for Cam. Right, before we crack on, let's see who's turned up to be with us on this fine Monday. It is fine. Look at that. You can actually see sunshine. Look at that. Sunshine out my window.
Oh, madness.
In the north as well.
Sunshine in the north. What is going on? How come it's shiny there? It's dark here.
It's because we're in God's own county.
The first person to leave a comment was Steve Harbour. I think he was.
Yeah.
You better make sure Haley doesn't see that, mate. She'd break your arm.
You're looking good, Martin.
Yeah.
Much more rugged and handsome this week, that's for sure.
So Steve Harbour was the first person in chat, and he was sticking it to Yorkshire Gamer about wet palettes and contrast paints. Just because I think I might have touched a nerve. But who else is here? So we've got Mark Fawcett. Hello, Mark. Lazy Pirate Painting. Bicker City. Hello, Don. Hope you've recovered from Adepticon, mate. That looked an absolutely stonkingly good event.
Oh, doesn't it? I've got to go one year. Really got to go.
All immensely awesome. Jealous. And it was
that
really
would be
good.
Awesome, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I might try next year.
And it was great seeing the fruits of your labour before you did your Guadalcanal game. Looked and that Gettysburg one as well.
Yeah, really nice.
Rich John is. Hello, Rich. Hammond Jam, Battlemat, Benjamin Christensen. Hello, Benjamin. John, he's finally shook off COVID. Good.
Oh,
it's always the best way to be. Paul's Paint Shed. Hello, Paul. How are you?
Just say COVID.
You've had it about 15 times, Leon. What are you doing?
I know, it's awful.
You're not drinking enough.
That's what it is, you know. Since I stopped drinking properly.
There you go, you see.
Leon, I can give you some hints and tips about great beers if you want.
No, don't.
Yeah, I've watched the show.
Yeah.
Do not be tempted.
No, I think I'll give that a miss.
What tutti frutti contraption you got this week, Steve?
Nothing. I'm drinking Vimto tonight. What did I have at the weekend? I had
It's a tutti frutti contraption.
I had one at the
Cheeky
weekend.
Vimtos or just normal Vimtos?
Oh no, just normal Vimtos. I don't sully my Vimto. So Don's in a weird position. He's got no projects at all to work on. Isn't that a dangerous state of affairs for most people?
I don't understand. Don't understand.
I don't understand that at all. Oh, very
No,
strange.
I can send you loads.
Once they're
I have
painted.
Graham down the club. It's exactly the same. He came in the other week. He said, "I've got nothing to do. I've got no projects." I said, "Well,
Wow.
takes it online." But apparently, that wasn't acceptable.
That does
That
not
probably
compute.
wasn't that probably wasn't the right answer. Red Steph's here. Hello, Steph. Carl Burks, Adam Kirtley, Paul, Steve Harbour, yeah. Louis Baby, yeah. Oh, yeah, Ken is here, Yorkshire Gamer. Thank God, an episode I know something about. Last time I tuned, it was all about goblins, snot, doom blasters, and space pixies versus ferrets with guns.
Welcome to my world, Ken. That's all I'm saying.
I think Ken may have just inadvertently released the title of Osprey's next Blue Book.
You'd
999,
though, wouldn't you?
I would buy that in a heartbeat. So 9999 pardons here. It's just jumped ahead like it normally does. Mobile and hostile. Evil Jim Reaper. Hello, Jim. Hope you're doing well, mate. Nathan McGowan. Alad is here. Alex from Storm of Steel. Andy from Friends of General Hague on holiday in sunny Cornwall.
Oh, lovely.
Nice.
I've
never been to Cornwall.
Oh, it's beautiful, Leon.
Oh, it's a lovely place.
Yeah, I would like to go, but
it's nice. Me and my mate once got tracked down by a seagull. We're in where were we? St. Ives, and we just bought two big, massive Cornish pasties, and this little beady-eyed seagull would not leave us alone. It followed us. It was like Feathers McGraw from The Wrong Trousers.
Was it like Ken after a bargain? Was it that kind of?
It had that gleam in its eye. Yeah. David Thews here, David Baker, Daniel Justin. Hello, Dan. Hope you're doing well, mate. Glendower, welcome, Mewett. Bren Flynn, hello. John Clark is here. Hello, John. Simon Weinberger. Eccentric Man, Ken. Hello, Ken. Hope you're doing well, mate. Yorkshire Dragoon, Tim's here. Martin and Mel Hoey. Good evening from Jersey. I think that might be someone else for the map. We've got a new one for the map.
Oh, Jersey.
Jersey.
Oh, good grief.
Nice.
Jersey.
Oh.
Yes.
Thank you.
You got a
I shall
map?
do that. We have got a map. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
We don't. It's on the Facebook. It's on the Facebook group. But
I'll have a look later.
We don't. Do we update it very often, or is it just one of
Well,
those?
we haven't had to because it was several weeks before we had any new countries. But last week, was it last week or the week before we had a new country? And then I think that might be one as well. So I need to go in and do it. I'll repost it in the in the Facebook page. When I
Brilliant stuff.
Cool.
Okay. Gary Clark's here. So is Mozart. Hello, Jonas. How you doing? Ian Wright, old school FRP. Hey, Bartos. Hello, guys. First time on tuning in live. Should be fun. I hope it will be, Bartos. I really hope it will be.
Welcome
I'm
aboard.
looking forward to picking these guys' brains about painting 400 million Napoleonic soldiers that I will never, ever do, because it gives me heartburn.
It makes me want to cry as well.
It gives me chest pains. Shiggles and Sprues. Martin's at a haircut. Miller's Mitch. Hello, Miller. Nigel Jones. Carazette. Robbins here. What's this? No more hobbies now. I just turned 3 2 5 1s into angry tracked raisins.
There's a story there somewhere, isn't there?
Yeah. Or it's going to be Osprey's next new blue book.
Yeah.
Shrink 7, Gary Phillips, Solvent Abuse UK.
Oh, hello, Dread.
Dice Assault. Cheers from Munich, Germany.
How many? Jesus. I've got one. I've got one, mate. I've got one who's not in. He won't be commenting, but he'd be watching. Lee McCloskey, how you doing, son? One of my mates from work. He
not
likes
Gumbo.
to tune in. No, not Gumbo. Lee McCloskey.
Oh.
He likes to tune in and just see how my mood's going to be for work tomorrow. It's going to be great.
That's what you call a litmus. That's what you call a litmus test, right there.
Yeah, exactly. So I'll see if he was watching tomorrow. I'll soon know.
Frank's Miniatures is here. Neil Oldham, Roger Chrysler, from South Ontario. Mini Agnostic. Dave. Richard Workbench Warrior. Hello, Rich. How you doing, mate? Mark, Adam Jews, Gary Clark, and it's what I'm calling. Seagulls are the enemy.
Seagulls.
One time in Dover, had one shit engine in our car. It felt like I was being strafed by a BF 109.
Brilliant.
Oh god. Right, we're at the end. That was a bit of a mammoth trek, and I managed to keep control of it mostly.
Well done. It's
hard
hard because there's so many names, and it keeps coming in all the time, and it scrolls through. So, oh, geez, horrible.
Oh Christ, we got it. We got it back. We missed Gumbo, Liam.
You haven't called out Gumbo for a long time. It's
no, I haven't. But he might be making appearances at some point. You never know. But we know he's not dead because he's coming to my stag do. So.
Well, he might be dead after your stag do.
Yeah, he might
along
be.
With you.
Yeah.
Benjamin,
don't fancy Warhammer World then, Dom.
French drummer painting tutorial with Steve.
Yeah, Benjamin, can I just point out you're a very cruel man. He wants a video in the future of Leon doing a French drummer painting tutorial with me. I'd just be there crying into my shoe.
Why don't you do like a live how to paint a French drummer at CrackCon, Steve?
Yeah, there you go.
I'd end up just throwing paint everywhere and windmilling the nearest person.
No. We're having a live.
It'll go viral.
We want the recording of you doing the Huey. That's what we really want.
Look, as I said, it's a long weekend here for Easter. So I am starting the Huey properly.
Can you finish it?
What in 2 days?
4 days.
Well, 4. I'm not going to work for 4 days. That's just sadism.
Are you airbrushing it?
No, I don't use an airbrush. It makes me swear.
Yeah, I don't use one. I'd like to be able to use one. I just can't.
I've got 2 really cheapo ones, and they're both in a state of disrepair at the moment because I really don't have the energy to put them back together. Plus, the compressor is louder than a jumbo jet, and I think the woman downstairs might think I'm doing deviant things rather than just airbrushing. So I don't bother. That and it's crap. It just makes me swear. I think with airbrushes, I think you get what you pay for.
Yeah, I think so.
A bit like glue guns. Mine cost £10, and it terrifies me because it's the cheapest looking piece of crap in the entire world. And I want it. The stand doesn't work, and I've burnt myself on it numerous times. It's horrible.
I got
horrible.
One of these USB ones, or these ones.
Yeah, I've got one of them.
But I'm still not brave enough to actually have a go with it. I really must have a go with it. It's like I keep looking at it. It's moved from up the shelf up there to be recharged because it hadn't been charged, or it had been charged up, but it'd been so long sitting there, it lost all its charge. But that's as far as I've got. I really must have a go at it, but I'm scared.
Yeah, I'm scared as well. I've got one.
Perhaps on a bit of sprue, Dom.
That's a
I
good
could
shout.
do, couldn't I? I mean, I've got enough bits of crap around here. I could do it easy enough. It's just
thin layers. That's what you need to remember.
It would save time as well.
Yeah,
It
string
would.
is a good one. Yeah, I think it's definitely true. You do. Yeah, I think I just did mine on the cheap. My mate is a scale modeler. He has got it's either an Iowata or a Badger, and he bought it secondhand from a guy, and it was actually used on the set of Pirates of the Caribbean.
ooh,
Really?
I know.
yeah.
I didn't think they had airbrushes in them times.
They had Yara brushes. I was crap. I do apologise. Right, let's get on to let's get on to what people have been painting. Ken, have you got any pictures?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, look at Dom. He's like fucking like. Oh
yeah,
my God.
I saw what Dom's been. I don't know what Dom's been doing.
Update on the Goblin Horde.
Wow.
Is this specifically for Yorkshire Ken?
Yeah,
There's a lot of green there.
There is a lot of green. Yeah, there is a lot of green. So there's a lot of. I'm just finishing the last 40 guys in for their green skin at the back there. The green. Yeah, the batch paint is it's not too bad actually because they just sit on my desk, and when I get like 20 minutes, I might just paint another 8 bits and then 8 bits and bobs. But yeah, no, it's going well. I'm happy.
The giant squigs looks cool.
Yeah,
they're all 3D printed. Take a drink.
And the fanatics, the balls on them fanatics. Wow.
Well, can you see? Can you see him from there? Oh, the chat.
Oh, those balls, right? Yeah. Bum, bum.
That's what she said.
Yeah,
I
like the idea of the bigger size fit balls on the fanatics. To be fair,
Gosh,
I just think it fits.
They do
that
look
sort
meaty.
Yeah, I just think it fits that fantasy sort of look.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Right, I think we'll move away from the carry-on film double entendres. So, Ken, when we start talking about the big projects, you could definitely give us some hints and advice about painting a load of goblins. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I've got some good tips for big projects that I found that kept me motivated. Go for it.
Brilliam. The fantasy of bigger balls. Now that's definitely going to be an Osprey book. Liam,
Hello.
what have you been up to?
I did upload some of your stuff. Hang on.
I've sent some pictures to Dom.
Oh, right. Okay. Then.
Yeah, let me find it for you. Hang on.
Let's have a look. See.
I've been working on a couple of things.
Here we go.
So,
nice.
Epic Confederates.
Nice.
These are early war, so I've done these all in grey uniforms, and I've trimmed all the hats down so they've all got kepis.
Ah, good.
Awesome. And then you sent that one.
That's the pike and shot.
Ooh.
So I got another sprue of that with the War Games Illustrated. I was hoping for the cavalry, but obviously you don't get what you want, and I got more infantry. So
I'd love to know how many cavalry they actually gave out. It seems like virtually everybody I know has got the infantry.
Yeah,
very, very few pike, very few cavalry out there from what I've seen. But anyway, never mind. They do look good though, Leon.
Yeah.
Thank you. Some early war Confederate artillery.
Very nice.
Just a couple of guns. I'm going to do one with the next batch, and then I've got some commanders there as well. Like brigade commanders.
I really must. I keep seeing people do a really nice job with these, and I really must dust out. I think I've got a couple of sprues of them. I must do them because they do look good.
Do you know what it is? It's all in the prep. It's all in. Normally with your base coating, you can be a little bit sloppy.
Yeah.
I found with these, you need to be quite neat with your base coating, and then it's just minimal highlights after you've put a wash on.
Right.
So it's a little bit of a different method of painting.
Exactly. When I'm painting mine, when I did that video, people were asking me about what technique I use, and I said, for me, the way I paint them, it's the wash. The wash makes.
Yeah, it does all the work for you.
It does all the work. Yeah, it really, really does.
Yeah, unlike with 28s. Once the wash is on, that's when you go to work, really, don't you? But with these, it's a little bit different. You still got to highlight them.
Oh, yes. But no, because I remember I watched your video about the ACW before I started, because I started mine 2 years ago and despised every second of them. And I went back to them 2 years later, and it's a completely different. I absolutely love painting now. I think it's because I just overburdened myself. I was painting sort of 6 strips at a time, and it was just too much. So now I do 2. I paint a base at a time, and it's much easier, and you don't lose the quality. Whereas when I was painting them in batches of 6, the first one was fine. The 6th one was absolute turd. So I didn't bother. So now I'm painting 2 at a time, and it just seems to be working fine. I need to get back to those. I need to. I've got some more. I really enjoyed painting the Zouaves. They were really nice to paint. They were quite.
Yeah, I haven't got them yet.
I saw you. This was some of the other ones you did, and I think they look really, really good.
Yes, they're brilliant.
I've done them as the 54 from Massachusetts.
Lovely.
From Glory.
From the film Glory, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Really nice.
And for the more astute among you will notice I put the flags the wrong way around, but never mind.
Oh, I was going to say that, Leon. Oh, I can't look at them anymore.
No, get rid of them. Take them off.
Yeah, bin them. Yeah, look really sweet. I have to say, they do look really good.
The Union are really easy to paint.
Yeah, oh God, yeah, they are.
Something a little bit bigger.
And I can't finish the basing because I've run out of tufts. Can you believe it?
What?
I know, me as well. I just can't fathom it. So I need to put a tuft order in.
Really sweet. They look good. Really good.
Thank you very much.
Really lovely stuff. Do you know when you jump between sort of the epic and the 28mm?
Yeah.
Does it sometimes take a bit of adjusting to get back to painting at a certain scale? I found, because I've been painting recently, I've been painting 15mm, the epic range. I hadn't painted any 28mm in quite a while, and then 2 weeks ago I was painting some 28mm bolt action. And it seemed a bit strange because I hadn't painted 28mm for so long. It took me a while to get my head back into sort of that scale. It's very, very strange.
I alternate between, I'll do a unit or a couple of units, regiments of epic, and then I'll go on to 28mm. So I don't spend too long on any one thing at the minute.
Right.
I found that really does help me keep motivated. Because if I looked at my epic ACW, thinking I've got to do like 40 odd regiments, I'd just probably take the box and throw it in the bin. so this way I can do a couple of regiments because they're quite easy to do, then break back onto the Napoleonics. And obviously I'm trying to get Project Austria finished. And again, if I had to do Project Austria all just back to back, I think I'd just, rather die.
Painting that amount of white would probably just finish me off.
Yeah, cry.
Yeah, I would. I'd be crying now. It'd be horrific. But no, I found that jumping between those scales, it does help. It does keep things sort of. You feel more motivated when you've got the different scales. For me, different periods and different types of painting.
Yeah, exactly. That's what helps as well. It's because it's a different style of painting. You don't get so bored with it straight away because you are doing it slightly differently.
Yeah, absolutely. I say it was weird going back to painting those bolt action DAC that I've been working on because I've not painted them for really quite a while. So it took me a while to get my head back into. I think it's a really good way of doing it, Lionheart. It's having that variety. It's a really good.
We've lost Leon.
You there, Leon?
Sorry, somebody was trying to call me.
All right.
Yeah, I agree.
Yes, yeah. Absolutely.
Frequent breaks. It's the way to do it, isn't it?
Yeah. The other thing
he's gone again. Someone's calling him back.
Well, he's a popular man tonight.
He's not taking note for an answer. The other thing I do is I have other projects in the background as well. So I've got when I've got a little bit of spare paint, I'll put some paint on the other project.
Yeah.
And it feels like I'm cheating and getting a bit of a head start. So when I go to finish them, it's like, I've already done all of this and I've done these bits.
Do you know, I do exactly the same, Leon. And
it does help, doesn't it?
It's really good when you just, as you say, you get a little bit too much paint on what you're using and then you just think, I'll put it on that one. The next lot will sit in there. It's great.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
Here's a question from Alex, Leon. Tell us more about the Austrians. He's thinking of looking at the 1809 campaign for sharp practice.
Yeah, what is it you want to know? So 1809, the landwehr uniforms would have changed. The structure of the whole Austrian army really changed after, Archduke Charles got involved. So your basic Austrian regiment would have 4 battalions, 3 of which being a line battalion and 1 being a landwehr battalion. So if you're going to do sharp practice, you could pick a regiment and do it that way and have 3 line battalions and 1 landwehr. And then the grenadiers from each of them line battalions would go on to make a grenadier battalion. So you could even have 1 grenadier battalion as well.
And
if you're doing
riflemen and grenzers and all sorts of things, can't you?
Yeah, you can have grens and stuff, but obviously there'd be separate uniforms. And then, as you say, you've got your Jaegers. So yeah, you got a lot of scope post 1809.
Yeah, so Steve he's flirting with the idea of an Austrian army. I have seen some.
Just bite my mate.
Yeah. Yep. Well, Alex found that very helpful.
No worries, mate. Message me if you want any more information, mate. I've got some good links on the Austrian army and stuff. So just send me a message on Facepalm, and I'll pass on what info I've got to you.
Brilliant. Right. Brace yourself, everyone. It's Dom's turn. Dom. Dom. Whoa.
Here we go.
Okay,
I can have a little nap now, can't I?
Yeah.
Strap yourself in, chaps. This is going to be a bumpy one.
Strap yourself in. Well, shall I show you? Actually, our missing colleague sent me a couple of pictures.
Oh, right. Okay. Yep.
I said he wasn't allowed to show them because they were too pretty, but he said he'd throw mud on them afterwards, so it's all fine. So this was what he shared. This is
nice.
more of the Reconquer knights that he's using for his Crusader project. I think he did a video showing some.
Yeah, he's done a video of these.
Yeah,
they look absolutely amazing.
Yeah, they're very nice. They are
beautiful miniatures. So,
does make you want to get a 3D printer?
Yeah. Yeah. The only trouble with those is the banners are all a bit too flappy. But there you go. Just saying.
Oh, yeah, flappy banners. You can't have them. Oh God, no, they're verboten.
Anyway, what did I do this week? So I did have a good week this week actually. So I did another unit of my Bruce's in Ireland, another Kearns unit, which I think is the last one I've done now. Actually, I think I've got some slingers to do. But I've just noticed on this picture, it's always the same when you look at the guy in the middle at the back. He's got a great blob of mud on the end of his spear. Anyway, must be a
guaranteed, mate. Guaranteed.
Every time. You don't see it until you take the picture. Yeah. I'll have to take that off now. Anyway, so I think that's pretty much. I'm coming to the end of it. I just need a bit of opportunity to play some games with them, but I'm pretty much there with that project, which is really good.
What can play against them, Dom?
Well, I've done the 2 armies basically, mate. So I've done both.
I'll give you a game then.
Yeah, you're welcome to. What else? And then but it's a good thing I did because I've sort of started another sort of project. So it's just a side. It's a soups on side thing. But
yeah,
I started on some Dux Britannia Romano Brits. So I've had these for ages sitting in a box behind me, and I just saw them. I thought, you know what, I'll start them. So I'll start doing some of those. So they're sort of, I guess, unarmored infantry spearmen, and then I did some of the lords just because.
Very nice.
Why not? Because I thought they looked really cool.
Yeah.
Are they little big man transfers?
They are. Yeah. Oh no, I hand did them, mate. I did them.
Oh, right.
Yeah. No, they're little big, mate.
And the banners, hand painted them. Bit wavy,
Absolutely.
aren't they, mate?
Yeah, very wavy. Very wavy. I'm going to have to iron them afterwards, mate. So yeah, that's sort of got me excited. I'm doing a few of those, and there's not many in the army, so it's. I have got a Saxon army somewhere from when I used to use it for Saga, so I can probably convert that over.
Is there a set of rules based on Bernard Cornwall books for them?
Well, there's the Lardy rules Dux Britannia, which is sort of like that.
All right,
I believe. Cool. I've never played the game, but it's supposed to be a bit like Sharp with sticks.
Yeah, so that'd be.
So it should work quite well. Sharp sticks.
Sharp sticks. The pointy stick game. There we go.
Yeah,
New name for it, pointy stick game.
The pointy stick game. But Martin's played it a few times, and I've watched a few games online of people playing it. It does look quite fun. So I think it's kind of like it is like a sharp version of a Dark Age game. So it's
Durful Kadan.
Yes, and it's very campaign driven as well, which is the other really good fun thing with it. So, and very small forces. So I think it should be good. But then I felt I really ought to get on with some 15mm tanks because you always need tanks, don't you?
Good stuff.
I showed this one on my video I put up recently, but this is some early wars Stugs. I finally got some transfers. So,
Dom, you said these were the old school metal and resin ones.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not sure I like that because they never seem to it's a real bugger to get them to sit perfectly together, isn't it?
I always found there was a lot of
They seem to wobble, don't they?
They do.
Yes.
And when you think you've got it straight, you then go back to it, and they've sort of turned in on themselves slightly, which is really annoying me. Well, they came out all right, and then a good liberal slabbing of mud over them around the tracks makes, exactly, Alex. Stug life. So I did a later one as well, which that's a plastic one.
Ah,
yes,
that's a plastic one.
Plastic Soldier Company.
It's Battlefront. Battlefront. Yeah, Battlefront. That one.
Cool. Oh yeah, me and Dom are fully paid up Battlefront plastic fanboys. We really are.
Oh, we love them.
We love them.
They're nice, aren't they?
Yes.
And that's me. That's me elephants. No, it's fine. That's me elephants.
Oh, nice.
Crikey, they're a bit big.
They metal as well, Dom.
They're resin and metal tracked. Again, a bit like the Stugs. Bit frustrating. Oh, and the guns are metal as well.
Yeah, they're not. I was going to say they're not as popular. Well, they're not.
I don't like them as much. No. Also, the barrels with the metal barrels, they always come bent, and they never quite straighten out properly, do they? It drives me mad. Anyway, they're done. And then
a Hummel, isn't it?
Oh, Hummel, Westport, Hummel. Don't know, one or the other. Yeah, you're right.
Got a big gun on it.
Big ass gun.
Bloody great gun.
And then the anti-tank version. So they're the Flames of War versions as well. So that's them. And then finally, a couple of Panthers, because you need a couple of Panthers in your army, don't you?
You can't go wrong with Panthers.
There they go.
I prefer the look of a Panther over a Tiger as well.
Oh, Tiger's iconic, mate.
I watched a video at the weekend, the Tank Museum, going over a Tiger 2. Ooh.
See, I don't think the Tiger 2 looks as pretty as a Tiger 1.
No, Tiger 1 looks great.
It's odd, isn't it? I don't know what it is about it. Even though it's all boxy and everything, it's just like, it's a Tiger. It's cool. Anyway, there you go. That's what I've been up to. What about you?
My input was, I had quite a busy week last week, so I didn't really get a lot done. But I started my Opal Blitz last week when Paul Hicks was on, and I finished it sort of the next night. So it's only a humble transport. But there we go. There's my Opal Blitz.
Awesome.
Very nice.
For the
headlights.
desert.
Yeah, I like the headlights. So cool.
I thought they were a bit over the top. I'm glad people like them. But it was amazingly quick to paint because there's, apart from the shovel, there's no stowage, there's no nothing. It just literally was base coated, washed, dry brushed, and then weathering pigments, and that was pretty much
plastic or a resin kit.
That's plastic. It's Warlord Opal Blitz Multi kit.
It's the one where you can also turn it into the half track version.
Yeah, the half track, the multi. Yeah.
Right.
You can have it. You can have it open topped. You can have it covered. You get a really good crew set in it. So a passenger set of 10 men that sit in the back. Well, it's literally what I mean. It's only a transport, but it's one of my favorite kits. It goes together so well. There's no issues with it. Never any. That's the third one of those I've made and painted, and never any problems. But
who's that by, Steve?
Warlord.
Rubicon. Warlord.
Warlord. Yeah, it's a really good kit. Like I say, and it just goes together so well. Yeah,
it's weird with Warlord stuff. Sometimes it's properly based, which was good to see.
Oh, yes.
Isn't it what Warlord stuff? 1 minute, one kit can be absolutely a dream to put together.
Yes.
And the next one can be just like hell on earth, and I don't understand. I mean,
it's all their plastic Italieri, though. It's all of it Italieri.
I don't know.
I think most of it is. I mean, that Sherman platoon I put together, I had zero problems with that. The Firefly was an absolute dream. So nice to work on. The Opal Blitz, again, brilliant. That Hetzer, no.
Just
I
no.
found out the Stug with Warlord. The Stug, trying to do the Stug was horrible.
Yeah, Stug was
Puma
the
as
problem.
well.
Yeah, the problem I would.
Puma.
Oh, fucking hell. I don't even start on a Puma.
Puma is
Oh.
notorious.
I ended up having to magnetize the bloody wheels.
What?
That annoyed me
wow.
because I spent like 2 hours trying to do the chassis and the axle, and I was like, hold on a second, I base vehicles. No bugger's going to see this. It's going to be covered.
Nobody ever sees
No one's
it.
going to see it.
And it's
So I
such a
did.
pain in the arse to do.
It is. But for the most part, their plastics do go together. You just get the occasional aberration. That Hetzer for me, wow, that was a difficult kit. So I think what else there is. But for me, the Hetzer was on the Churchill as well. I had a few issues with the Churchill. It wouldn't.
I've never made
the
that.
the whole wouldn't go together properly. But the other kits, I built 3 M10s. I built a Hellcat. All really nice kits.
It's just weird, isn't it? It's just really random, but yeah.
But I've got the Rubicon Huey to do, and I've got a Rubicon Tiger 2 as well that I'll be working on soon.
Yeah, to be fair, my Panther was a Rubicon kit, and I loved doing that. I did love doing that Panther.
They're just nice kits. They really are. So at Rubicon Deuce and a Half, I did. I could have done that blindfold. It was just such a really nice kit to go. It was just so intuitive, and that the instructions were clear. There was
Apart from the Huey, yeah.
I've not even I've not even glued any of it together. The only thing I've put together is 3 crew, and that's it. The actual helicopter hasn't even been touched yet. I don't know. It's not even out the bags yet. I said it terrifies me. But long weekend coming up. On Friday. I'm gonna proper get into it. Proper start. I'm gonna throw all my fears to the wind and then crack on with my my Huey. So, Dom, do you want to move on to the OCP?
Oh, hang on. Oh, right, hang on. Hang on.
I was going to ask you one question quickly before we move on.
Yeah, do that.
Yep.
Cover me.
Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, no. It's just in regard to the Epic stuff. I know I've asked. Obviously, it's now April. Have we got a date yet? Because I've not really been following Warlord massively yet. Still not got a date.
I just think
they did
they're
say April, didn't they?
Yeah, they're saying end of April, weren't they?
Yeah, I think they were saying that. Yeah, I think so. I think they were saying April, as you say, Leon. I think probably the back end of it. I imagine they'll have them at Salute.
Yeah, I'd imagine so.
Yeah.
When's Salute? What date is it?
22nd of April.
Yeah,
So I would imagine they will be there.
So Glendower said, if you haven't got anything to do, maybe you could help me with the Huey.
Oh, yeah, I can come over and just pick it up and chuck it in the bin. Absolutely no problem at all. Not a problem. Quite happy to do it. Just
James,
let me know when you need me.
The official release date is at Salute.
There we go. Thank you, James.
Oh, okay.
I assumed it would be. Okay, so OPC 14 this is. So reminder, this is the fun competition what the community on the Facebook page run. No prizes, it's just every month they set something up between themselves. We have nothing to do with it. We just read out and show the pictures. So it's told me what the next challenge is. So this one was on renovation.
Ah, yes.
So you had to find an old model, strip it back, and then paint it again. So that was the theme. So first one up. Oh God, follow my instructions. This was Gazza's Beastman. That is quite a transformation.
Nice. Yeah, that's really
Really a definite transformation.
Well done.
That's a really
that's
good.
lovely.
That's a proper
God,
job.
You wouldn't think that was the same figure, would you?
You would not, would you?
No, it's a
You
classic.
really wouldn't. Very nice. So that was that. And then having done that, Ian did another one. This was a Centaur that he did, which I think is almost better, if that's possible. That's fantastic. Really cool.
Classic.
That is brilliant.
Yeah, awesome.
Are they Citadel games?
I would say they were Citadel, yeah.
Yeah,
They've got they've got to be early to mid 90s. They've got that.
Early 90s. Yeah.
Yeah, they've got that vibe about them.
Pretty spectacular.
Well, I don't recognise that one.
I don't recognise that one at all now.
Okay. And then Jonas came in with a dwarf with a heroic axe, apparently. I tell you,
That's a big chopper.
That's a big chopper. That's a really big chopper.
I'd be really interested to know what they are. Those dwarves. I've never seen them before.
No, I haven't seen them.
I'm sure Jonas will tell us in a minute, I'm sure. And then we have a bit of Ralpatha stuff from Roy.
Look at that.
Oh, nice.
Like
the cape. Really like the cape.
The wizards.
Do you know what I've always said now about
the difference?
I know. Ralpatha miniatures for me.
It's a grenadier dwarf. There you go.
There's just something that some of them are, can be quite old, but they captured the fantasy aesthetic so well. Ralpatha miniatures. There's just something.
They were just of their time, weren't they? Just
they
absolutely. There's nothing like them, and nothing like them since either.
No.
I don't think.
Really, that's an excellent miniature. That brilliant.
Are they in production now then?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think they're long out of production. Well, actually, probably someone will now say you can buy them somewhere, but I'm pretty sure they're out.
Yeah.
Tony, a hook horror. There you go.
Oh, okay.
It does what it says on the tin. It's a hook horror. There you go.
That's terrifying.
That's very scary.
No.
You wouldn't even need to put a tuft on that one, would you?
No.
God.
You can tell he's killing the ground as he walks.
God, I don't know. It's just wow. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Sorry, I'm trying to find my list again. This is Stephen with his my goodness, Dragon Lord off eBay.
What a difference.
Yeah, look at the difference in that.
Just unbelievable. You wouldn't not know that was the same thing, would you?
No, you wouldn't. You'd think that was a completely different mini.
That's awesome.
Look at the base as well.
I just love that.
Everything about that is absolutely
brilliant.
Wow.
Oh, he's got some eggs. Do you like the eggs in the background?
Oh yeah.
I didn't even notice them. How cool are they?
That's a nice little touch, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you reckon, did the rider come with the dragon, or has that been added on?
I think the rider comes with the dragon. I think that's an old fantasy.
Is it an elf?
It looks like an elf.
Yeah, it looks like some sort of elf.
Does look like an elf. Jeez, very nice.
No, that is really cool.
And then Carl came in with some minifigs, Napoleonics. This is a Napoleonic ambulance.
I know.
I mean, that's just extraordinary.
So they're oil paints on the top, yeah?
I would imagine they were done with enamels by the look of it.
They
like shiny, yeah.
Classic Humbrel going on there.
Yeah, the old Humbrels.
Wow.
What a difference a nice base makes as well.
I know.
Yes.
It's crazy as well, because if you look at they look really good, don't they? Look like modern stuff, really.
Yeah. You wouldn't,
Can't really tell,
definitely.
And that would fit with your epics as well, because those minifigs are quite small. So
it just goes to show that old figures can always be rescued.
Yeah.
Old figures are still good. I do like old figures.
Oh, awesome. And talk about old figures. This is Warren.
I thought you were gonna say there's you then for a minute.
No, that is something else.
Your stag weekend's coming up, mate. You better not say things like that. That's one of the Airfix 1/35th scale, one of the big ones, which I think most of us of a certain age had a good number of these in our collection.
Yeah, I had lots of them. That is just fantastic.
That is lovely.
Wow. So there you go. That was all the OPC 14 entries, which I have to say, I think is probably my favourite we've had.
Yeah, that's been my favourite so far.
I think that is just awesome.
Well, it's nice to see that change, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Really, really good.
Yeah.
So if you want to do the next challenge, which is OPC 15, which is civilians, apparently. So anything civilian is the.
I don't know if I dare enter after seeing that.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, there's some works of art, I have to say. So, a reminder: if you want to take part in it, just well, check out what Warren and the team say about it in the Facebook page. But I think all you do is just post up your entry with the caption
hashtag
OPC 15,
15,
and then he sends them all, tells us what to say. So that's what we do.
I have got some peasants for the first crusade to do.
There you go.
There you go.
Tempting.
Sorted.
I might have to jump the queue.
There we go. OPC 15 for you.
What I liked about that was there was essentially two challenges. There was one was to actually rescue the miniature in the first place, but then to paint it as well. I think that that was a really difficult challenge, that, to make them look that good as well.
Yeah, from how they were.
Exactly.
When you look at those, especially like when you look at the dragon, when the first time you painted it for a start, you wanted it to look like the second time you painted it. Do you understand what I mean?
Yes.
So the second time you painted it is how you wanted it to come out the first time, and you've actually achieved that now. So that's a double sense of like accomplishment, I feel.
Yeah.
Like, I've actually managed to get it to look like it, and that's probably set them down a rabbit hole because I think, I could do the whole army like that.
Well, I know I mentioned the other week about that Adeptus Mechanicus figure I've got from 1989. I painted that when I was I'd have painted that in about 92, so I'd have been 15, and it's crap. And it's just awful. No, I'd have been 13. Sorry, 19. I was 13 when I painted it, but I will not repaint that. I won't strip it. That for me is a reminder of where I was paint wise, to what I do these days. So it's I wouldn't like
that comparison, isn't it?
It is. It's always good to go back as well. Before we go to the main topic, do you think there's a period in your sort of painting journey where you plateau, where you reach a point where you can still improve, but it's like a slow haul after that? Or do you think it's like continuous improvement?
I think once you nail base coating, that's a bit of a hard plateau to get past.
You're too far from your mic, Ken.
Oh, sorry. Nailing base coating's a bit of a hard plateau to get past. Once you've nailed base coating down properly, I find that can be a bit better.
I would honestly say not. I think you can. It's like everything. The more you practice, the better you get. There's no coincidence with that. But I would imagine there is a point where your eyesight deteriorates too much and your hand coordination maybe deteriorates. And that's probably, for me, that would be the only limitation. I think.
Yes.
I'm certainly painting far better now than I've ever painted.
Keep watching tutorials, because you're never too old to learn something new.
No.
So I watch them all the time, and then I'll see something and think, oh Christ, why didn't I do that before?
Well, I don't know about you, Neon, but I pick out just bits of it. I won't, somebody will have a technique and you don't necessarily do the whole thing, but something they do and you think, oh, I could do that, or I could just adapt that slightly. And I pick that up.
A good example of that is when I watch Stuart's videos.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because he uses an airbrush. Obviously, I haven't got one, but some of the techniques he used for the highlighting and things like that, I think, oh, well, yeah, what a really great idea. Why haven't I thought of that?
He's a fantastic painter, Stuart, though.
No,
he's good, isn't he?
Yeah.
The thing that for me, I think I've mentioned it before, is that I was looking back at some figures that I painted in would have been 2008, 2009, and I was so much better at painting faces back in those days.
Interesting.
And it's a skill I've not lost, but I just do not seem to be able to paint skin, flesh, or faces as good as I did back in sort of 2008, 2000. I don't know what it is.
Slop mud all over it. That's why. For frick's sake. Do you think that's because you don't do? Well, you do faces, don't you? I mean, you do.
I do, and I have been, especially on these dark ones. I have been trying, and I've been experimenting with different flesh formulas, different washes, different highlights. And I think I am getting to a point where I'm enjoying. Yeah, that's definitely true. I used to despise painting faces when I just didn't like them. But now I try. I really do try and put some extra effort into faces. because I know, well, years and years and years ago, I think even before I had a YouTube channel, and I was watching Leon's videos, the one thing he always came out with was faces and bases. If that's what you want, no, decent miniatures is faces and bases, and it's true.
Because it draws the eye, doesn't it, away from the actual figure itself. It distracts you, and if you can get them right, a decent looking base would make even a crappy looking miniature look good.
Yes,
true. Bases do make a big difference. And it's interesting. He says he can't do eyes on 28 figures anymore. He's learnt a lot of neat things with washers, etc.
I don't even bother with eyes anymore.
No, I don't. I don't bother. No.
I think also the types of paints and the washes and the, as you said, the techniques that are out and about now also make a huge difference. I think when you were trying to do things with a very limited palette or just with some of those Humbrol enamel paints, it was really quite hard to do some of this stuff. But when
you couldn't do anything with the bloody enamels, could you?
Unbelievable. I mean, I pulled out a pack of, I'd even forgotten I got them, surprise, surprise, but a pack of different coloured washes the other day. And I was using them on another project that might be coming at some point fairly soon. And I was just playing around with it, really, just playing with all these things. And I just thought, bloody hell, why haven't I used this before? So that's just opened up a whole nother can of worms of using all different coloured washes instead of just the 3 or 4 that I used to use in the past. But
Dom, that's exactly. Remember, last year I stopped using Citadel washes. I use Vallejo now, and I know which to mix. I know if I mix Vallejo Black Horse with Sepia, it's a better version of Agrax Earthshade. Absolutely, definitely agree with that.
Thanks, Kevin.
What I like about your stuff, Leon, is that you can paint loads, and the quality is maintained to the entire price, especially the Lance Connect. That for me always stands out. That the variety you put into that, and every single base was just absolutely spot on. It was just
that's it. Getting the bases right again, isn't it? It hides from all the mistakes I make.
Well, Alex has just put one here. Weathering covers a multitude of sins. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's why I use Vallejo mud on my tanks. It covers up all my mistakes.
It's brilliant for tracks. When tracks don't quite join properly, that mud is fantastic.
Yeah, stick a bit of mud in there.
Yeah.
Well placed tuft.
When the hole's not quite joined, just slop some mud in there. It's brilliant. Unfortunately, I can't do that on my desert vehicle, so I have to be a bit more judicious with what I'm.
A bit lump of sand.
Yeah. Ken's absolutely right.
Do you know what? Actually, Ken,
drains your painting powers.
You might actually have a point there, because my Turnip 28 stuff is so low effort. Low effort. It's unbelievable. I'm not neat. I just throw washes after wash. There's mud. I don't care if mud sticks on weapons. So as much as I do like doing it, it is very, very low effort on my part. But I think that lends itself to the overall aesthetic, though. I mean, I've seen some fantastic turnip paint jobs, and it's really good seeing the different techniques that people use. So people, approach them and they put hours of work into it. I remember before CrackCon 2, I was still up at 10 o'clock the night before painting turnip figures for my game on the Saturday, and it was just literally block painting, washes, dry brush, mud, done, and that's all it is. But yes,
and it says all of improvements are down to you YouTube types. I think he's referring to you three. Much paint purchased after seeing different people's faves brands and everything. So, yeah. Well, I like Leon was saying earlier, I think just watching other people's videos, seeing how they do things, just getting little bits and bobs from them, little techniques and little things is really good.
That's it. You don't have to adapt entirely the way you paint. It's just picking up, as Dom said, just 1 or 2 little things. It just makes a massive difference to how you paint.
I mean, and the comment from Gary here as well about Sonic Sledgehammer. Troy puts out some fantastic videos.
Yeah,
and what I like about his videos is there's such an eclectic mix he doesn't just stick to one period or conflict. He paints a lot of different periods, and it was his video that I've been using. He did a video about desert weathering on vehicles for World War II, and I've been using that, and it's just brilliant. It's dead simple to do, and his video was a godsend. Literally, I think it came out the day that I was doing the day before I was doing my DAC weathering.
Perfect timing.
Watched it, absolutely perfect, and I thanked him profusely on Twitter for it because his videos are brilliant.
Do you know, that's a good point though, but I think also it's a good thing to look at even weird shit videos. I mean, I watched some videos of people painting stuff there's no way I'd ever paint, but it just still that gives you little techniques and little things. It's interesting, so don't just think it has to be the one that you're doing. It can be anything. Really.
You're gonna watch me paint some goblins, Dom?
I wouldn't go that far, mate. Obviously not. No.
So I think that's a nice segue into our main topic. So big projects. So I wouldn't count. For me, a big project is 1,000 points of bolt action. That for me, that's a big project. I know Dom shaking his head. I imagine Yorkshire Ken is probably waving his fist at me right now. Because there's no, to him that's not even a skirmish thing. That's just a motley collection of figures.
Afternoon work.
Well, yes. So Dom, particularly want to pick your brains about this because your Bruce Invasion of Ireland project.
Yes,
I would call that a big project.
I suppose it has become so, yes.
So
it wasn't kind of what I thought.
I was going to say, when you sat down to do that, did you think it was going to transform into what it became?
Yeah, 1,000 figures. Yes, he did say that. I kind of can't deny it. I did think it would turn to something a bit bigger because. So the whole concept of it was that I went down a rabbit hole watching a video about the Bruce's invasion of Ireland, which I knew nothing about and never heard of. And it was just so interesting. I thought that's perfect. And then when I looked at the date of it all, I thought that would work with all those piles of Footsore Baron War figures that I've never got around to painting. And I thought, perfect, I can use them. So that was the core of the idea. But then when you start thinking about it, you think, well, okay, what am I going to do? Well, I'll do the Scottish Army, obviously, because that's the main one. Mm-hmm. And then I thought, well, is there anybody in the club likely to have figures that we could fight against? Well, okay, so probably not immediately. So maybe I'll build the Anglo-Irish army to go with them. And then when you start reading up about the period, which I did lots of, and listen to podcasts and videos and whatnot. There's a huge amount about it, to be absolutely honest. I then discovered that obviously the Irish are heavily involved. You need to have a large number of Irish lords because they scrapped amongst themselves. They swapped sides, So I thought, right. So then suddenly it became the 3 armies you got to have, or all interchangeable armies. And when you start working that back through, you think, okay, so how am I going to do this? So that was exactly it. It just kind of got out of hand, which is the story of my life with a lot of my projects. But then because I had the core of all the figures already there, it was sort of easier because all those Footsore figures are all sitting in boxes back there. And it was just a question of then just dividing them up and sorting out what I want to do and then buying some additional figures to make up the numbers, which were largely plastics.
So when it came to actually painting them, did you just choose whatever you wanted? I like the look of those. I'll just paint those. Or was there a specific?
So that was one of the challenges, if I'm honest, with that period, because there isn't an awful lot written about it as a period, let alone sort of uniforms, because there weren't really uniforms in that period. And even heraldry was in its early days. So they didn't really have it wasn't like doing a Wars of the Roses army where you can go and look up, whatever lord and his retinue used to wear or anything like that. So a lot was conjecture, which is kind of interesting as well. Mm-hmm. There's lots of browns and that sort of thing, which makes it very easy to paint as well because you don't have to think too much. So yeah, that was a challenge. But I think again, it depends what you're trying to achieve out of any project. So for me, it was to get those figures on the table that have been sitting in a box for 2 years, not doing anything with, and I wasn't ever going to do anything. I'd got enough Baron War figures. I didn't need any more. So it was like, what can I use them for? So it was a little bit of compromise on my part. So buying things that were Dark Age figures to go along with it, because I want to get them out on the table and use them. Somebody else might be more, I've done projects before now, I'm sure you guys have as well, where you actually hang it on a particular battle. You choose, a sector of Waterloo, for instance, and just build the core that was fighting there, and you do it unit by unit by unit, and it's much more accurate. For the Bruces, I couldn't really do that because it's a lot of conjecture about what the forces actually were composed of. There was obviously a lot of Scottish veterans who came from Bannockburn and fought there, but we don't even know whether they were a lot of the spear arm troops or whether they were just the hairy-assed guys with axes that came over as mercenaries. So so there's a lot of conjecture around it. Whereas some of the others, you can actually say, right, here's the list of the army units, and you can build it one by one to match it. So, I guess it depends what you're looking to achieve. Yeah.
Well, there's an interesting point from Steve. So the key is loving the miniatures, otherwise it's a slog. I absolutely agree with that.
Completely.
Completely. I mean, if I had to paint a lot of, that's why I've moved away from painting traditional bolt action theatre selectors. I much prefer a nice mix of armor and support and infantry and tanks, rather than just 30-40 infantry, because it bores me. It just really does. So I'm sticking to really sort of smaller, stranger lists these days.
I think it's also about, for me, it's about getting them on the table and having a battle with them. That's always what motivates me. And as I get towards the point where the battle's coming, I slow down a bit, because it's like, I don't know, that's what our goal is, just get enough figures to play a game. And then once that's sorted, then I'm happy. So, yeah. So,
Leon, I know you've painted plenty of Napoleonic armies, haven't you?
Yes. Too many.
Well, you're talking to someone that is...
There's no such thing, Leon.
No, there isn't, unfortunately.
So when you say, in the past, when you've said, right, I'm going to be doing this Napoleonic army, it's going to be made up of these units, these characters. Is there, the way Dom took it, so he didn't think it was going to start off or end like that. How would you approach that sort of Napoleonic-sized army?
I start off just thinking about just doing a brigade at a time.
Right.
So 4 battalions, maybe some artillery and a commander, maybe some skirmishers, and I'll just concentrate on trying to do that, and then I'll move on to the next thing. I don't plan the entire army first when I'm doing Napoleonics, because it's just too daunting. Like with these Austrians, initially I was only going to have 3 brigades, like 12 battalions, but somehow it's morphed itself into like a 1-for-1 scale of bloody Austrians now. So, I just looked at it when I'd finished it and thought, no, it's not enough. It hasn't got that look that I wanted. When you look at a wargaming army, for all of us, it's the aesthetics, isn't it? Mm-hmm. The look of everything. Yep. And I just looked in and thought, it's not enough. So it's kind of doubled in size now.
So when it comes to the actual painting, what's your best? If you had to say to someone who's just starting at quite a fairly sizable Napoleonic army,
buy them on eBay. Just don't think about it all, because if you do, you're never going to get anywhere. You've just got to take it like little pigeon steps, 1 step at a time, 1 battalion at a time. Just let it grow naturally. If you get bored, stop, do something else.
Yeah.
And as I say now, I found the best method for me is just doing a 28mm unit in between some epic. And then, as I say, I've got them in the background. So if I've got some spare paint, I'll throw them on. Like we said at the beginning of the chat, really, it just gives you that head start. But just a good thing to do is get an order of battle, really. It's something I should have done when I started. So if you're doing a Waterloo campaign, look at the orders of battle, look at a division or just a brigade, and try and get all them units for that division or brigade, buy them, and then just start painting them one battalion at a time. Don't push yourself.
Is it a quick question for you, Leon? So, have you completed your epic Napoleonics yet?
Absolutely not. Do you know what the trouble is now, Martin and Mel, is because I've decided to rebase everything now. I've got to rebase all my Napoleonics. So to take a break from epic Napoleonics and doing 28 mil Napoleonics, I've decided they're going to take a little bit of a back seat while I do this ACW stuff. And I'm going to concentrate on doing my 28 mil Austrians, some ACWs, some pike and shot, maybe something else, probably some more crusade stuff. And they're just going to have to wait for a little while until I get the bases and start rebasing them. And then as I rebase a regiment, I'll paint a regiment at the same time. Or a battalion, I should say.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I haven't finished, nowhere near finished yet. The British are not far off, to be fair. I could probably, I don't know, I think about another 4 or 5 battalions and they would actually be finished. So,
but I think there are some things like Napoleonics that are they ever finished?
No, they're never finished, are they? No.
You know, there's some armies you can do that you can finish, but Napoleonics is just like, oh, just another brigade or just another, I want an ally to go with that, or hang on, I'll just, you know.
I can categorically state that my Napoleonics are finished. Absolutely finished. Ken,
when I finish these Austrians, they'll be bloody finished as well. I'm not doing another one ever again. Although, as Dom says, I'm thinking, oh, maybe some Russian allies would work.
You see, that's the way it happens.
You're all mad. Ken, when you painted your Napoleonics, you took a slightly different route, didn't you?
Yeah, I mass.
You mass painted yours.
Yeah, I mass painted mine. And mine was a weird one though, because I just didn't stop. I did the opposite, and mine was because I just wanted to beat Martin for the number of battalions he had.
Nice.
I just wanted to catch him up.
A big thing, definitely.
Yeah, so I just thought, yeah, like a bit like when I made him paint those 6 mil things because he realised that I was doing it.
Yeah.
God, it's amazing how much spite can be a motivator. It's just
great, isn't it?
No, I just remember when you were painting your Napoleonics, you weren't doing sort of 4 figures or 8 figures or 12 figures. You were painting 30, 40, 50 figures at a time, weren't you?
No, probably about 100, 200 at a time.
Wow, really?
Yeah, I was doing it in batch paints. So I do like 4 battalions at once.
Nice. I don't think I could do that.
Yeah, they were just. I just find the French were just easy with the great coats though. That was
true.
Yeah,
great coats. Yeah, that's my hint. If you want a big army, use great coats. Use great coats and contrast paint, and then just dry brush afterwards.
But then you did kind of burn yourself out a bit doing it that way, though, didn't you?
Yeah, I did it for like 7 months.
Yeah.
Wow. I was just about to ask how long did you actually spend?
Yeah, it was 7 months in the end.
7 months.
Yeah, 7 months. Yeah, it was.
How many battalions did you get, Ken?
I think I did 18 in the end. Infantry,
wow.
3 or 5 cavalry, but then all the skirmishers. Oh yeah, shit! I forgot about the old guard as well. Another 3 old guard as well. Cannon, commanders, battalions.
That's
as well.
A lot of stuff for that time. That's really good.
Yeah, it was just the patience. I don't know what it was. I don't know how I managed to do it, but I found like to painting the guys that I'm doing at the minute, the goblins. The reason why I'm doing it is I've only got about six different colours that I'm using. And there's probably about 8 or 9 steps in total to get the finished product. So
quick to paint.
I don't mind batch painting them. So it's not too bad. That's why I'm just doing all the green now. Then it'll be the brown. Then it'll be that. And then before I know it, I'll have 95% done. It'll just be the case of dry brushing them. I can see them being done in about another month or 2. That's what I'm hoping anyway.
So when it comes to batch painting, then what's everyone's sort of comfortable level? Where does it start getting a bit mad like?
100+ figures for me.
Yeah, Ken, you're just an anomaly though.
You're
Guy.
just-
About 12 is my max.
Yes,
Yeah, 12's about mine. That's where I feel comfortable.
because I for ages I used to be able to paint a bolt action squad, 10 men, batch paint them, and looking back at them now, they were terrible. So I'm currently batch painting 5, and that's about my limit. For 28mm is 5. Any more than that, and I don't get bored. I just see the quality dipping really quite rapidly when it gets to sort of the 4th and 5th one. With O group, I can paint 6 bases at a time. So it's only 12 figures, but that's with O group. That's my sort of my maximum. Any more than that, I think I'd get a bit bored.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but there's certain things I don't mind batch paint. It's because they've got to get done if I'm using a big army. So especially with the fantasy stuff, I need a big army to play the game. So I've got to do them anyway. I don't know. It's just weird. I don't know why I prefer to do it like that.
You're a binge man, though, aren't you? You do everything by excess. You love just going for it in a big way. With
I don't go little.
You don't go in half.
No.
So when you see it, because what I've started doing now is if I've removed things from my desk, I only have on my desk what I'm working on, so I don't see any unpainted stuff because that's just going to put me off. So do you ever? I know, Ken, when you were painting all those French Napoleonics, was just seeing all of them in front of you, was that a help or a hindrance?
Yeah, no, that was helpful because I'd have everything in front of me, so I know once I've done all the boots, guess what? I don't have to paint any more boots, and I can look at them all. And I'll tell you now, when you look at 100+ minis, and they're 50% of the way through, it does give you a massive motivator. You think, halfway now. Jesus, look, I'm halfway to get all these done.
100 pairs of boots in one go. It drives me insane.
I don't think I could do that.
The worst thing for me was the backpacks. Oh, I hated doing the backpacks. You had to do the straps.
Yeah.
You had to do just do it.
I actually find if I get too many in a go at once, I'll forget bits.
Yeah, I do that as well.
And then suddenly I go back and I go, oh, I've missed belts on that one. Oh, I've missed the boots on that one. It's like,
yeah.
So if I do too many, I'll forget.
I even forget to paint the backs. I'll paint the front of the boots and then forget to paint the back of them.
Yeah. I was trying to do some of those new epic ECW ones, and I thought I matched up all the colours. I turned them around; they're all mismatched on the back. It's like
it don't matter.
Red front and blue on the back. Oh, that's what I thought. Nobody will tell. Now they will put it on it. So there you go.
Nobody will notice. No, it's with batch painting. It's weird. I go through sort of peaks and troughs where I mean, with my those DAC and the British 11th Armoured and the American tank destroyer infantry support, I was painting them in 2s, batches of 2, because I really wanted to put some like sustained focus on them rather than just saying I want these out of the way. Because those, what I do in my bolt action projects now is I focus more on the quality of them rather than the quantity. So I that's why it's taken me the best part of 6 months to finish these DAC, because I lost interest halfway through and I started painting weird stuff at the beginning of this year. But I think that's definitely helped. Having that break at the start of the year when I was painting all kinds of oddness has really helped my getting back into 28mm.
I get frustrated though if I paint too few. That makes
all right.
I do. I kind of, because I want to get the unit done or the whatever I'm doing finished. If I do too many, then I kind of lose track. If I do too few, I kind of get a bit frustrated. It seems like, oh Christ, I've got to do 24 figures, 48 figures, or whatever it is for this unit. Sorry, Ken. I know that doesn't count as a unit for you, but in the real world. And sort of if I'm doing 1 or 2 at a time, it's just like, I just feel like it's going forever. Because if I do 12, I kind of just think, I can feel, if I do 12, then that's half the unit done. And then I know another 12, that's a unit done. Perfect. And I find that I can keep the quality consistent at that way. Whereas if I'm just doing one or two, although bizarrely with the badges and burrows, I'll do one at a time though. So
yeah, I did that. All my my burrows and badges were painted just one figure at a time, because I think it sounds strange, but those figures deserve that attention. They don't deserve to be batch painted. I think they've got such a character and a quality to them. They just deserve that attention. Maybe that's just me being a bit of a weirdo. But all my burrows and badges stuff, they were sort of, most of them were sort of painted in one session. So I just sit down at a night time or a day and just paint them until they were done. Because I always found I never got bored painting them. I really didn't. They were always interesting. There were just so much detail on them. And these are metal figures. I'm praising metal figures.
I know.
Here.
I still can't get over that.
It's a really strange state of affairs, me praising metal figures. But they are the best metal figures I've ever painted, bar none. They're just absolutely fantastic.
Wrong one. Oh, blimey, just jumped. Here we go. Alex's wisdom. Painting is like drugs. When the fun stops, stop.
Yes, absolutely.
Don't play with trains after.
Shut up, you. Painting on sticks. How many? Kevin says he paints 3 on a stick at a time.
Yeah.
How do you do it? Leon? You have multiple on a stick, or do you do it? I mean, obviously the epics are different, but
everything's on bolt tops. So I just put a little bit of blue tack on, put me 24 figures on for me battalion, pick 12 out that I'm going to start on, and then do my little cheating thing where if I've got paint left over, it goes on the other 12.
Yeah.
So when I get to them, there's less to do in effect. I'll just do it like that. I have tried to do just 6 or just 4, and the quality is definitely better. But like Dom, I just think I'm not getting anywhere. It's going to take me a lifetime to paint just one battalion, never mind an entire army.
Yeah.
So yeah, I get the same sort. I mean, I would prefer just to do 4 at a time. You can keep the quality at a much higher level, but it just takes forever. So I actually think I was a better painter back when I worked at Games Workshop than I am now, because then it was just painting models individually for the cabinet. You just painted one model. You took a decent bit of time over it, made sure you got it all, and I wasn't blind then as well, of course. I could see. So yeah, but now it's just I've got to do a minimum of 12, or I'm never going to get anything finished. The same with like you were saying with the epic ACW, you just do one stand at a time now, don't you? Because I couldn't do that because I just think it's going to take me forever.
No, actually, I will admit when I'm doing it, I'm thinking. Because I'm enjoying it these days. When I paint them now, I'm enjoying it because I've just got those 2 strips to focus on, and I can really put the effort in. But seeing the units grow slowly, that's a difficult thing to see, because I just think, well, maybe I could have stretched it to 4 base to 4 stands, but I know that I will stop enjoying it if I do more than 2. The resentment will come back, and I'll get bored, and I'll put them in a box, and I'll put them back in the corner. I'll never see them ever again. I know when I started painting those landscapes, I did them 4 at a time. I could only paint 4 landscapes, and I had to have sort of a mathematical equation with the paints when I was painting. So it'd be like, okay, so I've got 4 here, right? So 1 and 3 blue, 2 and 4 green, 1 and 4 red, and that's how I was doing to get that sort of randomness on
I think I did a video, didn't I, on how I painted mine, and mine was kind of similar. I picked 5 colors, and then just put them 5 colors across everybody. And then when I highlighted, it wasn't so bad because I was only highlighting that one color on a few different models. So I mean, it's still bad, but it wasn't as bad.
But for me, once I'd got the very last base color down, and I started doing sort of the individual, because rather than just put a wash on, I was doing individual washes. So reds yellows, reds, yellows, and browns got a brown or sepia wash. Blues got a blue or a green wash. And so once that was done, I was like, well, I'm 90%, because the highlights are dead easy to do. Then it was painting the flesh and basing them. So I really will have to get back to painting with landscape because they were oddly enjoyable. And I still remember everyone's face when I said that.
You are such a weird man, Steve. You really are.
I am expecting a French drummer one day.
I think I'm done. I'm done with Napoleon. The only time I'll used to. Do you know what? I know we got the Perrys on next week.
Mm.
I'm dreading it. No, I'm not dreading it, but it's going to come up what I do to their figures.
It is. We might find a picture and just show what you've done to one of their beautiful works of art.
But that's the only time I'll paint Napoleonics now is painting them for turnip.
Yeah, I can do next weekend.
No, it's not your. No, it's the one after you're full.
Yeah, next weekend. No, next weekend.
Not the Easter one, the following one.
Yeah, not this weekend. Next weekend.
It's Easter week. It's Easter weekend, or as I'm calling it, Huey weekend. When I start to work on my Huey. Right. Time for some. Have we got any news?
We got masses of news. I think.
Really? Right.
Yeah, I'm afraid.
Right. Let me just prepare.
Here is ear protectors on, everyone.
Right. You ready? Brace yourself, everyone. Here comes the music.
It's not loud.
It wasn't bad.
It wasn't too bad.
It's not loud. It's more sinister.
It finishes abruptly as well, doesn't it? These weren't all from me because Martin also sent some, so I'll run through everything here. So first up, our favourite sculptor, apart from the Perrys, obviously, and Paul and the other ones we've had on, is Reconquer.
Yeah, there you go. I guess. How did I guess?
Have you seen? They started he started doing a fantasy set.
Oh my god! Does he ever sleep?
I don't think he does. He doesn't. This is a battle company of some sort. So look at them.
Oh wow, that's nice.
Do you know what I like about them? So they're a fantasy range,
but you could use them.
I
you
like
could easily fit them in with medieval, couldn't you?
Yes.
Easily.
Not sure about that, dude. Could be some sort of Viking.
Oh, I like that.
Pulling his bow. There you go. He could be a medieval one. He could go in my Scottish force, that's for sure. So could he. So this is their latest project. So they're not only doing all their lovely medieval figures and all their stuff, he's also doing fantasy figures because why not?
Why not?
He's a cyborg. He doesn't sleep. He's 24 hours a day sculpting.
And they're such high quality as well, aren't they? Just so good. So that's them. Check out Reconquer's Facebook page because I don't know where they're available, but they're STLs because they're 3D drink. Paul, who was on last week, Paul Hicks, he's got his Arnhem Kickstarter as we talked about there. Actually, as he said last week, he's expanded out the figures that are instantly available. So this is a medic and a flamethrower dude.
Oh, the flamethrower.
Yeah.
Anything but the warlord flamethrower dude. Something a bit different.
Fantastic, isn't it?
Nice.
And he's also done an alternative squad or group of riflemen.
Oh.
So variety. And I believe also if you go on the Kickstarter, you can get 1,000-point bolt action army.
Oh,
really?
So you can there's a setup of enough figures to do 1,000 points for a bolt action. So yeah, really nice job, really lovely. They are definitely going to be part of my life at some point very soon, hopefully.
It's ending soon, isn't it?
It is fairly soon, I believe. Is it rest of this week? I think maybe.
I didn't check. I think when I checked last Tuesday, there was 9 days left. So it might be 2 or 3 days left.
As Ken says.
Yeah.
Effing.
They do. Again, metal miniatures.
Paul Hicks is proper talented, isn't he?
He is. Talk about Kickstarters. I think we picked this one up before, but if you're after Romanian Second World War cavalry, the Kickstarter there, which is just basically for Romanian cavalry. It's just a very small Kickstarter for Great Escape Games. They look quite nice models. I've got some of their Second World War figures. They're really nice. Really like them. Also, I know this is popular with some parts of our community. Blood and Valor, another book, End of Empires, which I think is a whole load of scenarios, I think. I could be wrong. Someone will correct me. And this is one of Martin, so I'm not sure what this one's all about. But that one's coming out. I'm sure Alex will be looking forward to getting his hands on that one because First World War-ish. There's also a new supplement for Silver Bayonets.
Oh yeah, it's written by Ash from Guerrilla Games Miniatures.
So that's cool. I don't know. I mean, I sort of wish I hadn't sold off my figures, but I'm pleased I did.
Didn't you sold anything?
Did you get rid of them?
I did. I sold them all, even the rule book.
Really?
Yep, I did.
What? Did you ever actually play a game of it?
Nope.
I mean, I know why Ash has written this because he was really he was doing a solo campaign on his YouTube channel. So it was really no surprise to see that he'd written a supplement for it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I've still got the rule book. Never played it. I've never even painted any miniatures for it.
I painted loads of miniatures.
Yeah, no, I remember you had a bit of a spree, didn't you?
I did, and they were good fun to paint. They're really nice models. I kept a couple of them because I'll fit them into various other things. But yeah, mostly I sold them off. So there you go. Oh. Flames of War Berlin. That is out as well, which I think will give you, what is it? So they're forces from the Eastern Front, 1945. So I think you get Panthers and IS-2s and T-34s and goodness knows what else in that. So,
is that a book or a box?
Is
it a book or a box?
I think that's a box, Steve. It's a German starter army, yeah.
Yeah, I believe so.
All right.
But have you seen the new starter game? That's really nice as well. Germans.
Oh, that was one I was confusing it with. Yes, you're right. It has the Germans and the Russians.
Yeah,
yeah,
nice
really,
start
really
and
nice.
good price as well.
Yeah. I the other week I picked up Clash of Steel and Stalingrad, and both of them were under 40 quid.
Yeah, that's it. Bargains.
Yeah, absolutely. And for what you get in those boxes, you get lots, and you get the figures, but you also every box has the rule book. Every box has the rule book.
Yeah, I've got a pile of them up there.
I've got loads of them.
I'm never going to play it, but I've got loads of them. Which reminds me, if you go to our sponsor, PCP, PCP 5 Swords and Swords, you can get an additional 5% off his already produced Flames of War stuff. So as well as the epic stuff, go on, check him out. What else we got? Now these really excite me, and I want to know where I get them because these look fantastic. So I really love Medbury 3D miniatures, but they've got some metal ones. They've just look at those Saxon Scandinavian warriors with swords. They look gnarly, don't they? They look absolutely immense.
Oh, wow. They are lovely.
Just beautiful figures.
They make some lovely command groups, wouldn't they?
Yeah. So these they're available at the moment. If in the US, you can get them because they're a US company. So you can buy them from their website. But I need to find somebody who's doing them in England because I just got to have those. They just look amazing. Given the fact I'm doing a Dux Britannia force, that would be perfect, wouldn't it?
Yeah, they fit in lovely.
They're lovely. They are really nice.
So there you go.
Postage would kill you though if you got them from.
Well, also sod's law is I'll be caught with the import duties and all the VAT and all that kind of crap. So
yeah.
So,
I'm gonna have to shoot. I've put Y in the chat, but in our chat. But I'm gonna have to shoot, so I'll see you guys next week.
All right, mate.
Okay.
So nice to see you again, mate.
Yeah, take it easy. Bye bye.
Oh, I thought he'd never go. We can use the proper thing now. There you go.
Hey.
Oh, who am I now?
You could be you now.
I should have been the fifth Beatle. Damn
it. Yeah, we'll have to explain that one. So Leon is the original fifth Beatle for this stream because he was You were our first guest when we started. Ken and I started this up. You were going to be
first one. I was going to come on I couldn't come on every week, could I? Because of my job.
That was the problem. You were doing shifts, so you couldn't come on every week. So So unfortunately, these two, well, not this one and the other one who isn't here, took over. So there you go.
We came on as guests one week, and
they've never left.
Never left.
Can't
get rid of them.
Feel like
Can't get rid of them. Yeah.
Do you know what? I think that will be in June. I think it'll be 3 years.
Really? Jeez.
Yeah.
Was it 3 years ago? Crikey.
Well, it was during lockdown, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was either June, July when me and Martin first came on. So yeah, it's. I think Alex. Did we mention it last week about what a cowboy?
Yeah, we did.
We did.
Yeah, we did.
And at the start of the chat, we talked about it a little bit, didn't we?
Yeah, and me and Dom were talking about it before we came on. Looks very, very. I haven't seen the video so far from Two Fat Lardies. It looks very, very interesting. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, they're not long videos either, so I might give them a watch tomorrow, probably.
I wasn't going to get it, but now having talked to Steve for about 5 minutes before this stream, it's definitely going to be a salute purchase for me. That's all I can say.
No, it is. I just like the from what I've seen so far. I like it. And the video today that Rich put out was about building the characters. That looks really good, and I can see how that can definitely play into a really good campaign system. And it's cowboys. Yeah. It's 6 shooters.
That's it. They do a Clint Eastwood type figure from Fistful of Dollars and all that with a poncho.
There is Knuckle Duster, or one of the companies does one.
Cool. I know Travis has it. He has it because he used it for his Dead Man's Hand videos.
Nice.
So there definitely is an option there. I
think got me with the building of the character. That was the bit that got.
Yes, that sounds really interesting. Now you start off with your basic skill. And then you can, apparently you were saying you can, if you roll an initial negative trait or a negative skill, you can actually lose it if the dude performs well in gunfights. Yeah, you can lose the negative trait and
gain a positive one.
Yeah,
that's quite cool, isn't it?
Yes, I think it's a good way of tracking. It was like Necromunda though. I used to love Necromunda. You'd unlock a skill at the end. No, so some guy really excelled.
Blood Bowl.
Yeah. Oh, Blood Bowl. Yeah, especially if you run chaos teams and you get mutations, big hand and claws. Yeah, really cool stuff.
Yeah, so I think that is definitely going to happen. It was Knuckle Duster. Don says Knuckle Duster does a lot of figures that look like Western movie stars. Yeah, they do.
Nice. So you can get Lee Van Cleef and everybody.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Mortimer, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. It'd be cool, wouldn't it?
So the point is, what a cowboy went on pre-sale yesterday. That's what.
All right.
There you go. So yeah. So you can pick it up. Salute, I guess, if you're going salute. There you go.
This year.
That's the
Can't
news.
make it this year.
You're not going? God, I thought we were going to meet you at the pub again. And
I know it'd been awesome, wouldn't it? Have a few beers and that. I've had a couple of people message me, but I just can't afford it this year. It's just such a trek.
It's a long way for you, isn't it? Really
yeah.
Is. Yeah. I'm going to go. I will be there. I've managed to get a pass out. It's my daughter's birthday the next day, so which is really good of her to have her birthday the next day. I suppose I had something to do with that. And then so I can escape and go to salute this year.
No, are you going, Steve?
Oh God, no.
One, it's too far, isn't it?
One, it's too far, and two, it means hanging around with real life normal people.
I don't know about normal. It is walking.
No, okay.
You're perfectly fine. You just go to the pub and get drunk. It's awesome.
Yeah.
No, it's just too much of a trek. To be fair, the closest ones to me, I know. Phalanx is in St. Helens, which isn't too far away. Mm-hmm. I think. Is it Partisans in Newark, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm going to Partisan.
I think that would probably be doable.
I want to do Partisan. That looks such a lovely
It's
show.
great for the eye candy because it's all about the games, Partisan. There's not that many traders there. There's enough so you can buy what you need. But it's all about them gaming tables. It's awesome.
Yeah, well, Salute's the other way round. It's all about the shopping and the beer.
Yeah, exactly. And mostly about the beer.
Yeah, mostly about the beer.
Mostly about the beer.
Yeah, mostly about the beer.
So with getting back to big projects, have you two got anything planned or planned that you've not even bought anything for yet that you want to do? A big project that you really want to do?
Vietnam, I'd like to do.
I'm in the middle
But
of
I
mine.
haven't got a single miniature. And I don't intend to get any until I've at least finished my Austrians.
Well, I've got the USMC from Rubicon. Just literally one of the best plastic kits I have ever worked on.
They look lovely.
They're just so nice.
And the VC look lovely as well.
I've said to myself, I will not buy any other boxes until I finish the US Marines, because Rubicon. I know it's gonna be. I think everyone saw my willpower in action when it came to BattleTech. That didn't last very long. James, Rubicon are developing a Vietnam rule set.
Oh, right, cool.
If you search for it, there's a group on Facebook. I'm a member of it, and it's being developed. It's like everything Rubicon do. It's lots of updates. They do update, and they put a lot of test reports that there are test battles that they played. And
there's a Vietnam group, isn't there?
Yeah.
For bolt action.
Yes. In fact, that's what I was initially going to start playing. Bolt action using the Vietnam figures.
Yeah.
But when I found out that Rubicon were developing these rules, I think I'm going to be using the
see how they play out.
Do the rules come in multi-parts with very detailed index?
Oh, the cynicism!
Just asking for.
Just asking for a friend.
Just for a friend. No, that's why they keep badgering me about the Huey, because I've been after that for so long, and I followed the production on the Facebook group, and then I got mine delivered late over Christmas. But the whole thing terrifies me.
Yeah,
it's because I keep saying it. It's for me. It's not. It's part wargaming, part scale modeling. It's that detailed.
That's the thing. They forget the war gamers are not modelers.
Yeah, I Dom would definitely attest to that.
That's why I'm not going anywhere near them, Leon. That's exactly why.
Yeah.
Fat fingers, poor eyesight, no patience is not a good combo with a Rubicon kit.
Well, I had that with them mounted Normans from Victrix. Bloody spears. Oh my God.
Oh God, yeah. It's a bit like the same with the Napoleonic French Lancers, the Victrix ones. So there, all those different bloody parts. Jeez.
Yeah.
You have one metal piece. That's all you need is one, or maybe two. You have the rider and the horse. That's fine, but that's acceptable. But yeah,
just give us a metal spear rather than that breaky plastic crap.
Bloody too right. God damn.
Anyway,
so Dom,
sorry.
So Dom, is there any sort of future project that you've not started yet?
Hang on, me and Leon, I'll have another moan about something. Come on.
So
we're the old ones.
We're the old bits, yeah. Do you know? I actually don't think I have. Well, I'm saying this, and of course I will, but I haven't actually got anything planned at all in terms of a big project. I think. Actually, what I'm trying to do this year is actually fill in the gaps. I want to sort of finish off projects that I haven't finished. Well, nothing's ever finished, is it? Let's be honest. But at least a bit more finishing or heading towards a finishing point with some of them. I guess the only thing that maybe, and I don't know how big it will go, is I'd like to do a 30-year war Pike and Shop epic army.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
But I don't think that'll be massive. But I would like to take those new epic figures and.
Yeah, I forgot that's a project I'm doing. Pike and Shop.
Yeah.
But I think for the 30-year war, you'd have to split them up a bit more. For your Spanish tercios and things. Your handgunners wouldn't work the way they come on the strips. You'd have to split them.
Well, except because there's because so this is why I am going to do this, because I've been reading up on it. There's actually 4 different periods to the 30-year war.
That's true.
So you could do the earlier period, which is much more like an English Civil War game, just lots of cavalry, lots of extra cavalry. In fact, you can have an English army in the 30-year war, which would be quite fun to do. But I think what I'm going to do is an imperialist force, because what's his name? Von Wittgenstein. He basically went to the emperor and said, "I'll make you an army, mate." And he said, "Okay, here you go." And he recruited an army of about 30,000 men, all mercenary, and then went out freelancing, fighting against Gustav and all the Protestant forces. And I thought, that sounds like a dude, doesn't it? He just went, that sounds like an army for me. So yeah, that'll probably be a project. I don't know how big it'll be, but that's the one. But other than that, no, I don't really want to do too much bigger.
I think that's going to be mine. With Push of Pike coming out, I've got mine on pre-order.
Where did you get that from?
I got it from Boards and Swords.
Did you?
Strange enough, I got mine from Boards and Swords.
Way code PCP 5. Oh, top man, Leon, top man. There we go.
There you go.
I use that code as well.
Did you? Good.
Brilliant. Yeah. No, I am looking forward to that, and my mate is, because he's a big ECW buff. He was in the Sealed Knot. He's really into it. And I've said to him it's going to look good, and it's a small scale as well, so I think it's going to look really good on the tabletop once it's all painted up. The banners and the pike blocks, it's going to look really good.
You can't go wrong with a pike, can you? Really? Let's be honest.
No. I'm trying to think larger scale. What am I aiming for? I'm trying to think. Have I got anything? I think larger scale 28mm stuff now sort of terrifies me. So I can say bolt action is.
You're going the other way though, aren't you? With your things, you're heading more into the skirmish and the.
I am. I'd rather do. But I've still got O Group. I'm working on a Soviet battalion for O Group. But I will definitely.
That's not large scale though. Let's be honest, is it?
It's not. I think O Group, given the small scale, even a big battalion, is still quite small.
How many figures are you looking at there?
Well, there's 3 companies. So 9 stands to a platoon. 9 stands to a company, which is 3 platoons, and I base mine two figures to a stand. So it's about, I think it's about 57 or 59 figures for a battalion.
Yeah,
not massive then.
It's quite a manageable force, really.
Yeah, it's 9, 18, 27. There's 30 days, 30 bases. That's 9 platoons, 3 companies, and a company HQ.
And then vehicles on top.
Yeah, and then you add vehicles. But it's very, O Group's very abstract. So 2 tanks is 4 tanks. So one base is a section. I put 2 men, which is 2 men equals sort of 8 to 10 men. Then you've got a platoon, and then the company, and it is. That's one of the things for me, is getting your head around the abstract nature of O Group. But I think it works really well. And painting wise, I really enjoy painting 15mm figures.
It's easier, isn't it?
It's easier. It's quicker, and the battlefront plastics are they're so nice. They are just such lovely figures to paint.
I've still got some to paint. God knows when I'll get around to them.
Well, I really got into it. It was last year. I painted my British in about 3 weeks. I don't know what happened. I just overdosed on coffee. It was just, I completed everything in about 3. My Germans took a bit longer because I thought I'd throw them away. Luckily, I found them, and then spent 3 weeks just painting. 3 weeks.
Did you see coloured paints that you can get? Army Painter, not Army Painter, Plastic Soldier Company do like base colour paints, don't they?
No,
Dunkelgelb and British.
Yeah,
I'm really old school.
I think that'd save you hours. That'd be your base coat, and it's just a case of just highlighting once you put a wash on.
No, I'm old school. I hand prime. I'm
with. That's my approach, Leon. With that, I'll find the appropriate colour, and just
Yeah, because that's your base color done, isn't it?
it's all done. Then you just put a
Yeah.
wash over it, pick out the belts and
Pick
stuff
out the
like
highlights, done.
that. Easy peasy. Jobs are good. And yeah, that's how I did my Germans and my Russians. I think I did that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I do it.
I make things as difficult for myself as possible.
Yeah, definitely.
It's like all my
That's why you can only do 2 figures at a time.
I know. No, everything. Where's my brush? So all my 15 mil tanks, they're all primed and painted with that brush.
That looks like an old dry brush.
It's a Wargamer. It's an Army Painter Monster brush that's about 3 years old.
Cool.
Speaking of,
so I'd use that for dry brushing.
See, with dry brushing, has anyone used the synthetic dry brushes?
I have, but I don't really like them. I'll tell you what I tend to use for dry brushing: makeup brushes.
Yeah, makeup brushes.
Yeah, no,
they're the best ones.
Mm-hmm.
I picked this one. It's a Citadel one, and I just wanted to see how
If
good
it's
it
any
was,
good.
and really, really good. I've
Really?
still got my. Yes, I really enjoy using these ones. I've still got my old battered ones that I use for camouflage, but these are good for more controlled
to get the edge
brushing.
highlights.
Yeah, really, really good.
Interesting.
And
I'll
again,
have
it's
to
just a bit of an experiment, and it's good. I mean, I've been using that now for about 6 weeks, and it's, apart from being a different color, because they come as bright white bristles, so they're a bit, but the no bristles have fallen out, and it's maintained its shape as well.
Yeah,
So
because most dry brushes die quickly, don't they?
They absolutely do. But the thing is, you can still use them. You can still use dry brushes, even though they're completely battered to hell. I mean,
trim off some of the really stray hairs, and you're all right, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, I've got loads of brushes that I use as dry brushes, and they, absolutely battered to crap. Right, let's have a look at some viewers' photographs, shall we?
Oh yes.
Let's have a look.
Yes,
so,
I like this bit.
There was a good. Oh, don't tell me it's done that thing.
So a reminder, if you want to contribute pictures for this, you just have to join the Facebook page. It's down below. Approaching 1,000 members of the Facebook page. So
yeah,
I'm surprised there isn't more, to be fair.
Well, we only let certain numbers in. Well, some of us do, Leon.
Some of us do. Some of us got. Some of us do.
Some of us just let any old person in. So it depends if you're lucky. If I'm paying attention, then you have to answer the questions.
Got you.
But yeah, it's if you're not in the Facebook page, don't worry. You can always email us pictures because and we'll pick them up on the PCP email address.
Yeah,
because some people.
It looks like they're all here. They're just in a funny order. So we're starting off with Jonas. He's been working on a bit of late war German bolt action with this rather lovely looking Hetzer.
Very
look
nice.
at that.
That's a Hetzer.
It's done all the P dot on it as well, hasn't it?
Yes, and the mud. Ooh,
oh, that's lovely.
That is nice.
Yeah, but, for anyone that's ever tried to build one of those Hetzer kits, you have my deepest sympathy because it almost sent me around a bend.
There are a lot of points in game as well, aren't they?
Yeah, I've never actually used my Hetzer ever.
No.
So I might have to change that because I built it and I swore about 50 million times. So damn it, I'm going to use it. So after a bit of a break, Jim's back. He's been posting on the Facebook group. I absolutely he posted up a mix of stuff he's been working on, but these just jumped out for me.
Oh,
these are the Kaiser's first light dragoons. Just look at those. They are
nice.
The whites and the yellows, brilliant.
Yes.
Really nice job.
Very nice. I feel his pain there as well.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't do that. I couldn't paint those. No.
See, I've gone to doing cavalry in 6s as well, 6 at a time. I can't do any more than 6 cavalry.
Actually, that's true. But then with the horses, that's 12, isn't it? So it's fun.
Yeah, exactly. So you still eat 12.
Still doing 12. That's the way I look at it.
Brilliant stuff there from Jim. Now these ones are from Craig, and I don't know. It's just called Voodoo.
What?
And it reminds me of the dude from Live and Let Die.
That works like Darkest Africa, that kind of game.
I don't know what game, what manufacturer. I just don't know.
Don't know.
I just do not know. But honestly, it's just such a great.
Well, cool, isn't it?
It is absolutely. Look at the stars on the jacket as well.
Wow.
Yeah, lovely.
So, Dom, does that count as
Free-handing
weird shit?
stars.
That is definitely weird shit.
Yeah,
I have no idea
I'll go
what
with
kind of
weird
weird
shit.
shit, but that is, yeah.
Yeah, I'll go with weird shit.
Another update from Dan on his ECW. It's been great seeing Dan his progress through these, and he's finished some dismounted dragoons.
Oh yeah, I saw these. Yeah, they're lovely.
Nice. They're lovely.
Are they our friend Bloody Miniatures or?
No, I think they might.
I don't think
Renegade or is it Renegade? I forget. I reckon.
Are they still about Renegade?
I think you can buy them.
No, they're nice.
So what
Look at
gaming
that.
system are they based for?
Oh, is he doing pike and shot?
Yeah, it could be.
You don't need to individually base them, though, do you?
Well, only if you're going to use them as skirmisher figures, I guess.
They are lovely.
Oh, apparently they're Warlord.
Warlord?
Oh, right.
Oh,
there
wow.
you go. I didn't know that. Okay.
Didn't know that. And they've got a nice billowing pennant there as well. Wind
Yeah,
in
very
the
nice
pennant.
Wavy flag. I like it.
Wavy flag.
Very
Absolutely.
good. We do like a wavy flag around here.
We do. Up next, so fast forward into World War II, is some 15mm stuff from Patrick, and he's been painting that 15mm Panther. Ooh,
Panther.
Oh, nice. Nicey.
That's a lovely shade of Dunkelgelb you've got there, Patrick. That's really nice.
And the camouflage pattern's subtle as well. I quite like
subtle,
that.
yeah.
That's been done with an airbrush, hasn't it?
It looks, or stippled maybe.
Yeah, possibly. Oh, that's lovely.
All I know is I'm pleased I showed mine earlier than this, so everyone's forgotten by the time this one comes because it looks nicer.
I just love that. I love that base colour. It's brilliant. Oh,
I bet that's that Dunkelgelb spray.
It almost certainly will be. Yeah.
Yeah, again, I make things for myself. My Dunkelgelb is a mixture of Vallejo khaki and green ochre, and it's never the same colour from one vehicle.
You can buy Dunkelgelb, you know.
I know, but
that'd be too easy for him, Leon. He wouldn't do that.
To be fair, though, they would all be different colours.
They would all be different. They would. Sticking with World War II is some British Infantry Command from Paul.
Oh, lovely.
I forget which manufacturer he said these were. The
face on that officer is fantastic.
I know,
isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh,
we'll have to see if we can tell us his recipe for the paint. Because you always look at other people's faces and you think, why are they better than mine?
Yes.
and it's just knowing the recipe, isn't it?
It is. I've started writing mine down. I've got a folder on my phone under notes, and anytime I do something now, I write the formula down from what I'm using. The formula, the wash, and the highlight. That's
the only reason I do painting guides on my channel. Because I can never remember. So I do, if I'm painting lots of something, I better do a painting guide or I'll never remember how to paint them in the future.
Yes, there's nothing more embarrassing than having to go back and watch your own video.
I do it all the time.
I do it, yeah.
It's like, how did I paint these? Oh, yeah, I've done a guide. I've even made a playlist.
To be honest, that's the truth of why I do batch paint loads of units in one go, because I'll forget how you did them. So at least the whole army will look roughly the same. Whereas if you then go back and try and add a unit to it and you think, how the friggin' hell did I paint that? You've blown
it, haven't you?
Yeah.
If I had to paint Landschnetz again, I wouldn't have a clue.
I made a mistake the other week. I was painting my DAC, and I do the helmet, the ammo boxes, the bread bag in green ochre. Yeah. And for some reason, I thought the wash was just a plain sepia wash, and it wasn't. It was sepia and black. And so I sploshed it all over them. I thought, yeah, that's gone wrong. It's completely wrong. It's like a bright red sheen on these things. So yeah. I consulted my notes and then I swore. Right.
Yeah.
So a bit of Windy Boat game up next from Paul.
Oh, goody.
Look at them.
Nice.
Oh, look at them.
I like those. They are galleys, I think, or something like that. Was
cool.
They're Windy Boat game things.
Windy things.
Yeah. Windy Boat game. Can't go wrong with that. 15mm now from Peter. So some 15mm ACW. 15mm.
No way.
They're never 15mm. They are fantastic.
That's it. I'm giving up with mine now. They go back in the box.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. I'm not even going to try.
No, I did a double take when he said do a 50. I was like, what?
Gee, I nearly swore there on your channel. Apologies, but that was fantastic.
They're brilliant. Okay, it's from Simon. So these are some Italian wars, Spanish pikemen.
Oh, lovely. Oh,
I think he said he
feel
used
his pain.
He used some of the less. What the word he used? I think they're warlord Landscrechts.
Yeah, they do look like them.
Yeah, but I think he chose
The
the
less
ones
flamboyant ones.
the less flamboyant ones. Yeah. I think there was a disclaimer for Yorkshire Ken saying that this isn't a pike block; it's more of a smaller scale game. That's why there's not 150 million of them.
It's a skirmish pike block.
It is, yes. They're not mounted on a 60-foot square base. There we go. Now these ones are from Matt. Now I hope I'm going to butcher the pronunciation of these. I think these are these Spanish Janitas. Is that what they are?
Oh yes, I think they are. They are light cavalry, basically.
Yes.
Well, these like from El Cid period or something.
They are. I think they more. Yeah, I think they are from El Cid period. Actually, they were sort of early medieval period, particularly.
We're going to.
Martin's corrupted him with the bases.
Yeah, so I was about to point those out.
I know.
Okay, so the next one is rather fitting given the subject of what we've been talking about tonight, the big project. Now, if anyone's not checked out Steve's channel, Basement, it's Basement 1908.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
wow.
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
Steve has a rather large table and a rather large collection of Napoleonic figures. And here's a screenshot, or it's a photograph from one of his last games.
Wow.
Look at that. Just
See, I look at that and think, I haven't got enough Austrians. It's not inspirational, it's depressing.
It's just awesome. Every time I see his tables, I just think, oh my God.
I just like watching his pre-game ones.
Yeah.
Where everything's set up and he just runs along and you think, wow, that is a war game.
I said it before, but I just love his enthusiasm as well when he's playing the games. He's like bouncing around the table. It's just fantastic.
It's great, isn't it?
What I don't get is that's one side. That's one.
Yeah, that's just the French, isn't it?
Yeah, that's just one side. You can see the British in the background.
Yeah, you could just see them over the hill.
Yeah. I think that was, I forget which battle that was, but it's just amazing.
And it wouldn't be my channel without finishing on some classic weird shit. From Thomas, now, turn 28, Max Fitzgerald does some fantastic artwork. And one of the ones is it's called the Leech Family. It's a great piece of art. Anyway, Thomas, he's been posting some fantastic Turn 28 figures. Decided to make it. Ta-da!
Oh wow! They're very Renaissance, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
But what?
Dom's struggling. His brain can't comprehend this.
Cannot compute.
It don't work. Shut down. That is
very Lovecraftian.
Yes, Thomas has nailed the turnip aesthetic at 100%. His work is just brilliant. And yeah, if you go into the Facebook group where he's posted the original piece of artwork by Max Fitzgerald. It's in the rule book. It's one of my favorite bits of turnip 28 art. It's just something about it. It's just brilliant.
I'll have to search his name on the PCP and find out all his pictures because that was pretty cool.
They're amazing.
Yeah, some
no idea what they do.
No idea.
Absolutely amazing.
No, I'm certainly not gonna get into it. I've got far too much going on.
It's amazing the amount of people who say I'm not getting to turn 28 and then they do. They're corrupted. And next thing you know, they're butchering Perry's figures and sticking tufts on top.
Sticking tufts on faces.
Bloody hell.
That's why I'm dreading next week. So yeah, thanks a lot for everyone that's posting in the Facebook group. I say it all the time, but that's such an inspirational Facebook group. Seeing the the weird and wonderful that people are working on. So many different projects and periods and conflicts, and just really, really good.
It does keep you inspired, doesn't it?
It does.
It does help you
really
to motivate you to keep painting.
It really does. And I'll be posting photographs of my Huey at the weekend.
Oh,
Nice.
I've just set myself up for a
You really have now. You can't back out this time.
I can't back out this time. No, Friday, I've said to myself, I am really, really going to hammer it. Right. So, yeah, we're 1 minute away from 10 o'clock.
Wow.
So, big thank you to Leon for taking the time to attend the podcast.
Thanks
really
for
good.
inviting me back after all these years. I'll see you in another 3 years.
Yeah. Same time, same place.
It's been good getting your input, mate.
Yes.
You've painted some cracking huge armies, so it was really, really, really good.
One day I will finish one of them.
Dom said that about when did you say that, Dom? Have you said it once or twice?
Dom has never said that, to be fair. I've never said any of my armies are complete because I know
they never will be.
Complete lie because they never will be. They never will be. Yes.
No, never.
So, as you know, if you've seen the schedule, we've got more guests on next week.
We have indeed.
We have Return of the Perrys. So Alan and Michael will be joining us.
Nice.
They're only coming on to make me spend money. That's all it is.
Yeah, I'm going to have to avoid that one.
Yeah. I was talking to Alan about the Ottomans and he told me he's got lots of plans. So I said, come on and talk about it. And he said, all right, I will. So
so that will be next week on Dom's channel.
Put that back up, so next week,
I will be bringing some Turnip 28 photographs to show them exactly what I've been doing to their miniatures for the past 2 years.
Nice.
Hopefully they won't put out a contract out on me. I think they'll be pretty chuffed by it.
I do.
I think they will.
That's what I think now. And they're two very, very nice people as well. So there we go.
They are nice, aren't they?
Awesome.
Yeah, that's honestly really, really nice chaps.
Yeah.
Right, so there we are. We're now officially in overtime, so we're going to say our goodbyes and skedaddle off. So thanks again for everyone watching on the catch-up. Don't forget, we are sponsored by Boards and Swords, Hobbies and Derby. PCP 5 at the checkout for all of your gaming bits and pieces, figures, paints, push of pike. If you want to get there, we've all pre-ordered from there because we are weak, useless people, and we couldn't resist.
We're all magpies.
We're all magpies. The new shiny things. Shiny things. So yes, we will see you all next week over on Dom's channel for an evening with the Perrys. That sounds so sophisticated. Yeah. An evening with the Perrys.
I have visions of your armchair thing that you were talking about.
And slippers.
Yes, yeah. I need a wingback chair and some port. There we go.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Right, enough prattle. Have a great week, everybody. Again, big thanks to Leon for coming on tonight. Really appreciate it, mate. Happy hobbying, and we'll see you all next week.
See you all. Bye-bye.